All right, let's talk about execution. People always ask me this question, especially when I'm right in the middle of something else. And someone says, hey, Sajam, how do I do X or Y thing? I want to learn how to do Gunflame FRC. I want to learn how to do like Seismo with Viper. I want to learn how to do like something. Like, what's the best way for me to learn this? How do I do this execution requirement? The default answer that everybody's going to tell you is practice. And I think that's the answer no one wants to hear. But there are lots of ways to practice it. And Gunflame FRC is a good example. You've never seen me just sit in training mode for 40 minutes and practice Gunflame FRC over and over and over and over and over. You don't have to spend that long. When you're trying to learn something new, sit there and try it for a couple of minutes. And try it on both sides is my advice as well. Then I would say go play. And while you're playing, try to do it in a match. Just keep practicing it in a match over and over and over. Just do it, no matter what. I just went and I played online, and every time I did a Gunflame, I tried to FRC it, even if it was a bad idea. That way, I was used to practicing it. I was constantly trying to do it, even in a match. I was forcing myself to practice the execution, and I would hit it in a match, and then I'd be more comfortable with the timing while playing against someone else, right? Because I'm sure all of you have tried some combo or tried something in training mode, been like, hell yeah, I can do this all the time. And then you go into a match, you can't fucking do it. If you wait for the right moment, you might do it like once or twice a match. If you force it, you'll try it 5, 6, 7, 8 times a match. So you get a lot more practice. And this is like true of all things that you practice, whether it's like music or martial arts or fighting games or whatever it is. When we would be practicing in wrestling, we would teach some new move or some new thing, right? We would say, practice it over and over and over, drill it and get it into your mind and use it. And then we would tell everybody like, hey, you guys are going to be wrestling today, right? And when you guys are wrestling, who cares who wins? Try to do the new thing that you practice and try to work that into your game plan no matter what happens, right? Just get into the habit of doing it in a live scenario. You should try it until you have proficiency. And if you're like, struggling to even get the proficiency, come back to it later or something. But you should just continue to try it over and over and make sure you're doing it the right way. That's another thing too. Learning to do it correctly first is important, and then building up speed and precision after is better. It's very easy to just, be like, if I just mash the stick, I sometimes get it. This is good enough. Then when you need to do it in the clutch, you're just mashing and you just miss it and you're like, damn. If only I'd learned to do it the correct way. There are some people who just can't training mode something for a long time and have fun. Some people really do like the training mode. No matter who you are, you need to make sure you do some training mode and do it in a live match. I think it's really easy to get into a match and be like, man, I can't do this thing I've been practicing. I'm going to go back to what works, right? And it's really hard to convince yourself to try something new and like lose games trying something new, but you have to do it. Does arcade mode count? Yeah, totally. Play against CPU and try it. Play against other players and try it. Just try it in a live environment. When we would drill stuff for wrestling, for instance, we would drill it and they would say, hey, have your partner, whoever you're wrestling with, give you like 60% resistance or like 70% resistance, right? So that you are not practicing the move against a literal dummy. You're practicing the move against someone who's trying to stop it, but not like 100%, right? So that's like kind of maybe what arcade mode is like, or playing against the CPU. It's like you can practice it, but not with full resistance. The resistance will really test whether you can do it or not. Also, look for consistent ways that other people do it. There's probably some things that like people have tricks or tips or whatever that like you've not heard about that are like really cool. Listen, this is what I'm fucking talking about. Oh shit. Look at Shermie just ball his fucking life on a motherfucker. Do you see this shit? Damn, 2-hand behind the back. Do you see this? Damn, the hands out. Get that shit out of Nakaruru's house. You're kidding me. She probably can't dunk, right? Oh, yeah, she got the... When you see this shot, this shit is real like granny. And then...